This is a Chinese reality show talking about 100 students participating in a 100 meters school race. Now, only the first 20 students who reach the end will win the grand prizes. But this is just not based on speed alone. In the beginning, they all started at the same point. But there will be certain criteria asked by the judges, and if the students passes those criteria, they can advance by 10 meters. Now, if you feel that you're falling behind in life, you feel like a failure, then I urge you to watch this video in full. Because after this story, it may change your whole perception of how life works. And there are a total of 6 criteria which I will go through after a message from the sponsor. May is a special month because it is my birthday month and it's also Weibo's 1-year anniversary in Singapore. Now, business as usual, if you deposit any amount, even $1, you can get 5 lucky spins. If you hold your deposit for at least 30 days, don't make any withdrawals, and each lucky spin, you can get shares from Tesla, Apple, Microsoft or Google. So with 5 lucky spins, you can get up to $500 worth of stocks. And for the current month of May, for every referral you make, you have one chance of winning $888. Every week they will choose one winner, and even the grand prize, there will be one lucky winner that walks away or drive away with a Tesla Model 3. So I don't know about you, but if I don't have a Weibo account right now, I will definitely use this chance to sign up, get up to 500 US stocks, and maybe got a chance to win the Tesla. So wait no more, use my referral link down below or scan the QR code right here to get your Weibo SG account today. Criteria number 1, at least one of your parents is a university graduate. You may advance 10 meters. The truth is, for most of us in the millennial generation, if our parents had university education, they are most likely holding very well-paid jobs during their era, which also means that they are definitely more financially stable, right? And if they held better paid jobs, are they exposed more to the high net worth people compared to those who are lowly paid? You can think about it first. Criteria number 2, if your parents have ever engaged for you one-to-one tuition service, please advance 10 meters. Now, I guess for this criteria is for parents who want to put their child at a head start by giving them better attention, perhaps in their studies and their education. But for criteria number 3, your parents have enrolled you in classes outside of school curriculum, and they have willingly spent money on you to let you pursue your hobbies, like music, like arts, like sports. I guess this criteria is really to filter those parents who are willing to spend the money on their child outside of schoolwork, and they probably see some value in developing such skills outside of just studying. So now that the 3 criteria have already been asked, there are already a few students who are 30 meters ahead, and yet there are still many people still staying at their original spot. But here is where it gets more exciting. And before that, how many meters advanced are you? Think for yourself. Travel 1,000 miles is better than reading 1,000 books. 读万卷书不如行万里路. If you have ever traveled overseas for vacation before, please advance 10 meters. Note that these are students, they are not adults, which means that the parents either have to pay for them or they have enough allowance and financial capacity to even travel. If you think about it, those students who can actually travel during their teenage years, most likely is paid by the parents, and travel is considered a luxury to kids, which means they are probably quite affluent. Mind you, these are China students, which means that China is so big, you know. If they were to travel out of China, even to nearby countries like Korea, Japan, or even Thailand, that's considered quite a far flight. But for Singapore, if we exclude Malaysia, then I think we can consider to be travel if we flew in an airplane when we were still a student, right? Now, criteria number 5, your parents were willing to send you for overseas studies. I think this criteria is really important because it's not just about the money aspect, but it also means that the parents are okay with letting their kids out to explore the world, dare to try new opportunities, live in a totally new environment without their supervision, and that shows their confidence in their own kids. And finally, the last criteria, were your parents proud of you? Were they always complimenting you when you have done well? Were they always there for you during sports days, events, award recognitions, school graduation periods, and you have been showered with love since young? I know that this is really common for the Westerners, but for a Chinese Asian society, especially when we have Asian parents, this is not common. Okay, we always hear of the Asian stereotype that our parents are never proud of us despite what we do. If we may score 99 marks, they will ask why we didn't score 100 marks. If we scored 100 marks, they may comment that who else have scored 100 marks? Must be the paper too simple or easy already. That's why you could score 100 marks, right? they were never satisfied. But you see, here is the interesting thing about the result. Now that the 6 criteria or questions have been asked, you have seen students who have fulfilled all the 6 criteria and have moved 60 meters ahead. And yet, there are still some students who were still at the beginning point, 0 advancements. Now, I want you to picture for yourself, where will you be placed if you were in the student race? And as of now, the race have not started because these are just some prerequisite criteria. And the judges have said, I want all of you to look behind you and see how far ahead are you from the people behind. And from this moment onwards, you could see some tears rolling down from those students who are lagging far behind. Then the judges said that the reason why so many of you are ahead of others is not because of any hard work you have done. If I were to start the race now, those of you who are in front are having a huge advantage to win the race. But before you reach the destination, it doesn't mean that those behind you don't have the chance to overtake you. And remember, only the first 20 students who reach the end will win the prize, and only you yourself will know how much hard work you have put into this race. So then the countdown timer started and the horn was blown. And from here, you see a huge distinction around 3 different kinds of reactions. Those students who have the advantage and were ahead just casually ran because they knew that they will reach the end goal in a very short period of time. And then some of those far behind just use all their energy to try and sprint to the front to try and be the first 20. But there is a third group of people who just gave up and casually walked through the fields because they didn't bother. Now, if I was in the same race as the students, I can honestly tell you that I will still be at the 0 meters mark, just like some of you. But the difference here is that I will be the one sprinting forward after the horn was blown, use all my energy to try and run as fast as I can towards the end point, even if I knew I had a very slim chance of making to the first 20. Now, after having said this long story, what is the message that I'm trying to deliver? Is that there are some realities in life that you have to understand. Number 1, life will always be unfair. In the real world, there will always be someone with the advantage. And this is all predetermined when you're born, despite what your school teacher or society tells you that the world is fair. But the thing here is that there's nothing shameful about not having any advantage. But what is shameful is you blame your circumstances and the environment and people around you instead of working on yourself. One more lesson from this story is that no matter how good or how advanced you are, there's always someone behind you that may overtake you. Even when you are really good at young, you're excellent in your studies, you're excellent in your work, but in the late game, someone behind you may just overtake you one day. Therefore, most importantly, you need to equip yourself with high value skills. Note, I didn't say high education because we have enough university graduates in this society. We don't need much more graduates. What we really need is skilled labor. Do you think a university degree will teach you how to do YouTube or how to do sales and marketing? No, you really have to practice on the job. And there's really so much ways you can learn from the internet right now. YouTube, TikTok, other people sharing their experiences, podcasts, so many different ways. You just have to take your time and spend the effort to really go and learn, master it, do it, and excel in it. Now there's even AI to help you do such stuff. So what are your excuses? If you're really feeling behind in life, I want to let you know that you are definitely not alone. I'm someone with 0 meters advantage and I have come this far, but I will not rest on my laurels because I know that even though I have advanced thus far, there will still always be someone behind my back trying to overtake, and I have to do my best in whichever way I can. And you know what they say, right? Comparison is the thief of joy. So if you were to compare to others, you will always never be happy. What you need to do is to compare with yourself. Are you better than the version of yourself 1 year ago? That is the most important question. Did you grow out yourself? I want to remind you that life is not just a race, it's a marathon. You have to really believe in yourself that you can do it. But the only way to do it is that you practice it and you do it and not think about doing it. So many people dream of losing weight, but what did they do? They just continue watching TV, binging on snacks. Did they have an action plan? No, right? Instead of having high and lofty goals, start with small, consistent milestones that you can achieve and reward yourself for that. Consistency is more important than achievement. Once you're consistent, every growth will compound, and one day you will be the best version that you think you are today. So believe in yourself and keep moving forward. You got this.